Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatin Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we will be reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 6th chapter, 23rd sloka. सत्सेव्या दीर्घ्या अपि जथा मयि दृढा मतः हित्वा वद्यम् इमं लोकं गन्तामज्जनातम् असि. Word to word translation by His A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sat Sevaya, by service of the Absolute Truth. Adir Gya, for some days. Api, even. Jata, having attained. Mai, unto me. Dhrida, firm. Matihi, intelligence. Hitva, having given up. Avadyam, deplorable. Imam, this. Lokam, material worlds. Ganta, going to. Majjanata, my associates. Asi, become. Translation. By service of the Absolute Truth, even for a few days, devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Purport. Serving the Absolute Truth means rendering service unto the Absolute Personality of Godhead under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master who is a transparent medium between the Lord and the neophyte devotee. The neophyte devotee has no ability to approach the Absolute Personality of Godhead by the strength of his present imperfect material senses, and therefore, under the direction of the spiritual master, he is trained in the transcendental service of the Lord. And by such training, even for some days, the neophyte devotees get intelligence in such transcendental service which leads him ultimately to get free from perpetual inhabitation in the material worlds and to be promoted to the transcendental world to become one of the liberated associates of the Lord in the kingdom of God. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Nananjalashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 6th chapter, 23rd sloka. This is the conversation between Narad Muni and Vyasadev. And specifically, this sloka is spoken about devotional service by the Lord Himself. It's such a beautiful sloka, and the context of this is Narada Muni got the darshan of the Bhagavan, and he's trying to see if he can, that little bit, that darshan also disappeared. But he's trying to see if he can get the same attainment again. Then Lord himself speaks to him in his voice, and in this verse is mentioned. So here it is so important that Lord himself glorifies the devotional service on to the spiritual master and the devotees. And here, by the service of absolute truth, even for few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material world. So, Vishnuvat Chakravarti Thakur Acharya Pad also says that by serving the devotees even for a short time, one's intelligence is firmly fixed in the Lord. And whenever we give up this body of lower birth, we will become the Lord's associate. Even for a short time, Adi Griha, for some days, even for few time, if we serve our Vaishnavas or senior devotees or spiritual master, what happens? We develop a strong intelligence, and giving up this low body, one will become Mat Janatam, my associates. It is beautifully glorified how devotee association and serving the spiritual master is so important that will make us progress in the devotional path so much, right? Why it is important? Why serving the spiritual master is important? Because at present the Jivatma has so much imperfect senses, right? What are the imperfect senses? We have read in all, it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So one is to commit mistakes, right? We all tend to commit mistakes. We are not perfect. We have so much imperfections, and first of all, there is not much knowledge that we may not commit any mistakes. We tend to commit mistakes. The second one is illusioned. Invariably illusioned. We think that if we think there is so much Maya. Like for example, if you are going in a road with full of heat, there might appear like there is water, but there is no water there, right? Maya is what is not. We think we are the body. We are the our identity is manipulated by the body, right? No, we are not the body, we are the soul. We think I am this person, I am this person, I am rich man, I like that. All these bodily identification, every single day we spend so much about it, but we are illusioned by this Maya, but we forget our own identity, which is which is being a servant to the Lord and rendering the devotional service. We think, okay, by earning money, by working hard, we will be happy, right? No, that won't last forever. We are illusioned in every single aspect of our life. We get illusion, Maya is there. And what is the third mistake? It is the tendency to cheat others. Like, although we may not be in the right position, we may try to position ourselves in this way, that way, like fake it, right? This is also a tendency to cheat others. And the fourth is we are limited by imperfect senses. Our senses are not perfect. We say, okay, now there is no sun, and is the sun there? No, but actually sun is there. Depending on the planetary positions, the sun is not visible to our senses. Actually, it is there. Like that, somebody may challenge, can you show me God? But God is there. We do not have the senses. We do not have the divine vision to see Him and praise Him. So we are already limited by the imperfect senses. So these we have these imperfections. We commit mistakes, variably illusioned. We have the tendency to cheat others, and we are limited by imperfect senses. With such imperfections, if we cannot understand, we do not have the ability to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who comes to rescue? The spiritual master comes to our rescue and help us see the Lord, see that how we can connect ourselves with the Lord, and He acts as a transparent medium between ourselves and the Lord. He gives us that mercy. Our Vaishnavas, mercy is so important in the progress of our bhakti. With their mercy only, we can start progressing, and we can eventually get that stage of highest perfection. So Srila Prabhupada also says that even if we are not able to understand this in the beginning, right? In the beginning, there will be soft shraddha. We need faith, like soft faith. Shraddha is required, but our heart has to be soft, but our faith has to be strong. Like, because if this is not happening, we may, like, from our transition from the materialistic things, waking up, doing the job, taking care of family, earning money, we kind of slightly switch ourselves. Okay, we are frustrated, this is not giving me the enough satisfaction, I need something more, I am looking for soul searching. Like that stage, every person attains at one stage or the other. And that time we come into spirituality and we search for this ultimate transcendental faith, and then that's where we need to have the shraddha, we need to have faith in that faith can be strengthened by devotional service. And just by carrying these order of the spiritual master, these four defects can be overcome. And even we every single day we wake up thanking our spiritual master, and Srila Prabhupada is the spiritual master for everyone in Krishna conscious, in devotees, and we thank. He, even maybe in the beginning of the class, we say Om Ajnana Timirandasya. Because of him, he is the torchlight to open our eyes from the darkness of ignorance. I offer my respectful obeisances to him. That knowledge can be imparted only by spiritual master. And we always need to keep the instructions of Sadhu, Shastra and Guru and progress in our bhakti process. That is so important. And even if, for example, a mischievous child is making lot of mistakes and everything, we cannot just stop him automatically. We need to tell him, okay, I know you are cranky today, like you are throwing tantrums. Why don't you do this? We divert the child to do something else to control his senses and be a little bit occupied. Like that, by devotional service, our senses are already gets occupied in serving the spiritual master and serving the Lord. Our eyes get occupied in seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. Our tongue gets engaged in tasting the prasadam and offering the remnants from the Lord. Like that, our ears is engaged in hearing the words of spiritual master or kirtan or bhajans. Like that, we multiple ways of rendering devotional services. Through this, our senses are engaged in the devotional service. So as we progress in bhakti, two things can help us. Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur Acharya Pad says two things can help us understand whether I am progressing in bhakti correctly. Like two yardsticks can be used. One is the intensity in our effort, and the second one is ease of chanting, right? Whenever these both things uh, whenever these both things get a little bit we who's the best judge for my own progress in bhakti? Me myself. And we can take the guidance of senior devotees. But when these two yardsticks, the intensity in our efforts and then the ease of chanting is somewhere shaking, like that time we just simply have to surrender and follow our instructions of the spiritual master, the rules of sadhana that has been laid out, and that will actually remove us from all the anarthas and progress towards pure chanting. Even Arjuna, he was very close with Krishna. He was a friend, also Sakha also. But in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he said, "I have surrendered to you, Krishna. Now, then Krishna gives the instructions." Right? That surrenderance is very important. Accepting a bona fide spiritual master is very important to progress in the spiritual journey. Also, we can see that Prahlad Maharaj, when Nrsingadev, Bhagavan asked, what benedictions do you need? He didn't ask for this, that, right? He asked, the thing I need is, I want to perform devotional service to my spiritual master, Narada Muni. Like, that is so key even in the beginning of our journey, even in while we are progressing in our journey, taking our shelter of spiritual master, serving them is very, very important. That such training will gradually elevate us in the path of bhakti. It begins with Shraddha, right? It begins with Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivarti, all of it. Then the like more advanced stages of Nishta, Ruchi, all of it, like Ashakti, attachment on Bhava, Prema, all of it can come. But what would help is following the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master, and then slowly all the anarthas get washed away. So, Bhakti Lata Beach, this tree, the creeper, when we grow a plant, we grow them so nicely, we water them in the roots, and then we grow it. Sometimes in the garden also, when we grow even the plants, even the weeds along with it comes, right? And but what we have to do for the good cultivation or good growing of these, we have to remove those weeds. Like these anarthas has to be removed, and like that, how can we remove these anarthas? It happens, like Maya is always there, but taking the spiritual instructions, hearing and listening, following the instructions of the spiritual master every single day will help us progress, remove these weeds, and then get that steadiness, and then progress in our bhakti path, and help us towards the self-realization. And there is no, it's a zero-sum game. There is no way, there is nothing goes wrong or nothing goes unaddressed in the path of bhakti. Swalpa apayasya dharmasya. In this endeavor, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 2.40 that even a little bit of devotional service never goes waste. It helps us towards our advancement. These bank balance, properties, whatever we gain in this Janma, everything is going to get nullified at one stage, right? We are not going to carry anything. What gets carried away, if Janma after Janma, birth after birth, is our bhakti currency. That doesn't go waste. Whatever we do, wherever we are, we are adding to our bank account. That bhakti currency will get carried out. All others will has to leave. Dukkhalayam asashvatam. This material world is dukkalayam, and it is temporary, and we at the end of our life nothing can come with us. But what comes? Our bhakti, the progress we make definitely gets carried towards. We in academics we have to slowly progress towards first, second, third, middle school, high school, PhD. But if we left here in middle school, definitely we'll continue from there onwards even in our next birth, because our karma and consciousness get purified. And even Srila Prabhupada, after his spiritual master passed away, there was 30 years, and then he started preaching in the West and all of it. But what helped him, Prabhupada says that his Vani, his instructions helped me, right? It's not two kinds of devotional service, Vapu Seva and Vani Seva. It's not that we have to be physically be with the spiritual master, not like that. We can, every day, wherever we are, we can take the instructions. We can do the Vani Seva. We can take instructions of our spiritual master, Prabhupada, and then we can follow them. Without that, we cannot progress in our bhakti path. The neophyte has no ability to approach the absolute personality of Godhead by the strength of his imperfect material senses, and therefore under the direction of the spiritual master he is trained in the transcendental service of the Lord. So even when in a job situation, the probation period will be there, and then like that, right? That training, that understanding can only come from serving the spiritual master, serving Vaishnavas. And this pure devotional service is it is very auspicious in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, in Nectar of Devotion. It brings immediate relief from all our kleshagni. It brings distress. It removes distress from all of the material sufferings we have. One may ask, but Kunti Maharani had so much, Pandavas had so much suffering, they did perform devotional service. Yes, but they had that understanding, realization of taking it as the mercy of the Lord, and they could do it, right? That understanding, when we come into bhakti, it's not that the things around us change, but we change internally. We change internally how to approach the situation around us and how to handle it, and see the mercy of the Lord, see the mercy of our Vaishnavas, take their shelter in every single distress situation, and that happens through devotional service. And it brings all auspiciousness, but devotional service, and it makes liberation insignificant, and it is very rare to get. And that can happen only, even though it is rare, it can happen only through the mercy of Vaishnavas, and it gives us that condensed spiritual bliss, and it attracts Krishna himself. With bhakti, it's difficult to get, because then Krishna is bound towards our devotional service, and he himself gets attracted through devotional service. So such important is devotional service, which is said in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu in Nectar of Devotion. And this devotional service, it starts with accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of spiritual master. That is very important. One has to understand how to render devotional service to spiritual master and Vaishnava devotees, and then carry towards our progress following the footsteps of acharyas. And this will help us progress in our spiritual journey. And this devotional service not only helps neophyte devotees get that steadiness after that Shraddha has been developed, but also make, as we progress, this is the rescue thing that we can always hang on to, and then move towards in our spiritual journey. With this, I can pause if there are any questions.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat.
Hare
Mataji, I
Krishna.
have a question um on the mind. Actually, mind is one of the senses. How do we engage the mind in the transcendental loving service of the devotional, transcendental service of the Lord, so that it can we can have build the quality of tolerance. Especially the tolerance is required for the mind. In a certain situation, like somebody provokes or some incident happens, so immediately the first thing is got impacted is the mind. So you said like the you have to engage the like you have to do vani seva like whatever the instruction, and we can do the seva and but through the mind how do we engage this, how do we purify the mind? Because only when we purify the mind it can be controlled, and also it cannot be agitated. We can have that quality of tolerance, like a tree, tree always like it can anything happen, like it always stands straight. So how can, because that how can we do, what are the different kinds of seva or service or devotional service, transcendental service we can do, perform with the mind?
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, mind is very difficult to control. Even Arjuna says, I can, being such a warrior, I can control the wind, but I'm not able to control the mind. It's always chanchala, right? But through devotional service, we can control, like you said, Prabhuji. This, we just have to follow the prescription that is laid down by Srila Prabhupada, right? Uh, like chanting, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, all of it will help us control our mind. Slowly, slowly, we will be able to get that understanding. We cannot say just stop to the mind, right? We need to understand it at different, and then become controlled, and the tolerance and all of this. So there are three stages in understanding mind and reactions, whether we are reacting or responding, all of it, right? The first stage is to understand that I am doing something, I not even understand that. We just do whatever our mind says, not even understanding that. The second stage is understanding, getting that self realization that I reacted, I did not respond, I should have paused, right? That is the second stage. The third stage is completely avoiding it. Like, I'm not acting, like, I did not react, I took my time to pause and then respond. Like, that is the third stage. This progress in controlling the mind, in responding or whatever, right, in getting trigger, like all of this happens through these three stages. As we come into the path of bhakti, practice our sadhana, read and hear the scriptures, we definitely we come from that first stage to the second stage, where we start realizing, okay, in a given day, in a given week, when I retrospect, I see, okay, how did my day go or how did my week go. We understand, okay, this something I did wrong, maybe I should have paused, I should have corrected, or I should have controlled. That understanding only comes because of this, that self realization comes because of this spiritual journey. And slowly, as we progress, as we take shelter of our spiritual master or Krishna, beg for his mercy, then slowly it happens through a gradual process that we completely avoid it. And that's how I see this process. And this can, it's work in progress. It can come only through devotional service, like reading and serving the Lord, serving spiritual masters, serving Vaishnavas. That sadhu sangha, the association is so important. It can be turbulent, but we have to be in the boat. This boat will take us to our destination. It can feel a little bit shaky, but we cannot come out of the boat, we cannot fall. This boat is so important. The sadhu sangha is very important. We need to be here, and we need to take association, and that will help us slowly, gradually progress in this mind game, I would say.
Thank you, Mataji. You answered my question. Like it takes some time to improve. It's based on the like according to our position, right? Everybody have a different level of mind control. I see a lot of other devotees, they are able to control. So they're very calm and like they're able to handle the situation, but it varies, depends upon the people, how they were there before. So as you said, like it takes some time. So we'll read lectures, Mataji, hear lectures, and follow the instructions. Thank
Yes.
you. Thanks.
Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, any other questions, reflections? Okay. If there are no questions, let's thank Her Grace Lalita Govinda Priya Mataji by chanting 3 times Hari Bol for giving a nice Srimad Bhagavatam class. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Let's offer our prayers to Lord Narasimhadeva to give protection to our congregation and the entire world. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnam Julantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Mutyurmutyam Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnam Julantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Mutyurmutyam Namamyaham. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnam Julantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Mutyurmutyam Namamyaham. Narasimha Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. This week we have on Friday Nityananda Trayodasi, Friday evening 7:30 p.m. onwards. I encourage everyone to join and also prepare for your realizations, how Bhakti Riksha impacted your lives. It is a Bhakti Riksha Sammelan where all new Bhakti Riksha people, everybody will join. I hope all Bhakti Riksha leaders communicated this message to your groups. And in the same Sammelan, we will give Siksha certificates. If anybody is chanting, we'll award the appreciation certificates. And also, yeah, I appreciate everybody to prepare and present 1 or 2 minute relegations. With that, we will conclude. We'll have, as usual, Sunday Feast program. If weather is bad, we may move Sunday Feast to Saturday. With that, we'll conclude here. We wish you a very, very happy Krishna conscious day ahead. Vancha kalpatarobhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा की जय। कमल पुराणम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Tomorrow we'll meet at 6:30 a.m. Srimad Bhagavatam class. Hare Krishna.